Jennifer, and we're going to be talking about Reiki today. What is Reiki?
Reiki is an Eastern healing modality from Japan that roughly translates to universal life force energy. And with Reiki, what the practitioner is doing is basically acting as a channel or a conduit between that universal energy and the person who's on the table or sitting in front of them. So you're not necessarily generating this energy to give, you're simply acting as a conduit for this energy that exists out there all the time and we have access to.
What are the benefits of Reiki for a person with depression?
For anybody, but particularly for somebody with depression, during a Reiki session you are identifying blocks or issues that that person might be having. So sometimes it's simply helping that person to clarify things that might be a problem. And sometimes, you know, as most people know, identifying an issue is really the first step toward dealing with it. So it does that. It can also facilitate the release of these blocks and or acceptance of the issues, things that might be happening. And it just, you know, even just being there for that hour or for however long the person is in the session just gives you that time just to have some peace without the anxiety of having to, you know, accomplish anything or be anything or do anything for anyone. So it gives you a little bit of relief from the anxiety as well.
Do you use any other modalities along with Reiki?
I do a lot of combination sessions, so people will come for massage and Reiki, or I will use other kinds of energy work, little aspects of Reiki that we learn, and like aura clearing, I use my pendulum, so pendulum divination. I also do raindrop technique with essential oils, so that can be combined with Reiki, healing attunements, and I also bring in a little bit of shamanic work, sometimes crystals. So, and most of us who do some sort of healing modality tend to not just do one thing. We often bring into that session many of the other things that we've learned along the way.
How long do Reiki sessions usually last?
Well, they can be really short. Sometimes practitioners will go to fairs and things like that, healing or metaphysical fairs and things like that, or health fairs, and they'll do little chair sessions for 10 or 15 minutes. So you can do brief ones. But when I'm doing them and people are coming to my office or coming here for a session, usually they're at least half an hour, most or an hour, and some people will do an hour and a half. But whatever the person wants or seems to need is fine. But usually an hour.
What is one thing to keep in mind when thinking about or considering Reiki?
Well, I guess as with any new healing modality that you haven't done before, I mean, even with massage, if you've never done that before, you first have to have an open mind and be willing to go. But because Reiki is an Eastern healing modality, it's something that a lot of people here in the United States, for instance, or in the West, aren't that familiar with. Being open to other kinds of healing is important. I think that's probably the biggest thing. And the other thing is to know that it can't do any harm. Reiki can only do good. The Reiki energy goes to where it needs to be. So the person considering a Reiki session doesn't have to worry that the practitioner is going to harm them in any way, because anyone who is a Reiki practitioner is not going to do that. That's just not possible. So being open, and then just understanding that it's not going to do them any harm, it can only do good. So I'm going to ask you to do what I ask everybody to do, and that is to think about a goal or goals that you have for the session today, something you want to achieve, you want to let go of, you want to work towards resolving, and to have it in your mind in the beginning. And make sure that when you're thinking about this, you're saying the words in the right way. So you're using the correct verbiage. So it's not, I want to do this, or I hope this will be better, or, it's, I will. This will resolve. I will be healthy and positive as I go throughout my day. What I'd like you to do is to imagine